Hi everyone, thank you for joining me today. Let's start by finding a nice comfortable seated position, settling in. We'll start by taking a few deep inhales through the nose and breathing out through the mouth in your own time. Sighing out through the mouth, one more, in through the nose and out through the mouth. Start by some small movements, just rolling the shoulders back, taking your time, easing into movements that we start with today. And when you're ready, start walking the hands out in front of you. That might be just a little bit in front of the feet, it might be stretched out tall. See how you're feeling in today, check in. Hang that head heavy though, get a nice stretch in the back. Start opening up those hip flexors. And start connecting into the breath. Feeling that neck stretching over the feet. And then walking the hands back slightly, let's come over to the right hand side and hang that head heavy there. Continue to check in. Noticing the breath, noticing how the body feels. Coming back to center and over to the left hand side. Breathing here. Walking the hands back to center, coming back into our seated position. And we're going to take the left hand behind, the right hand onto the left knee, inhaling to extend and exhaling to twist, looking over our shoulder. Breathing into this gentle spinal twist, taking our time, coming back to center and coming into the twist on the other side this time. So the right hand goes behind, the left hand onto the knee, pulling the body round, looking over the shoulder behind us. Keeping the sit bones nice and grounded on the mat. And breathing here. Coming back to center. And let's gently come into a tabletop position. Feet flat to the mat. Feet and hands and knees hip width apart. And we'll run through a gentle cat-cow. Flow with your breath here, exhaling to round the back and drop the head, and inhaling to press the chest up, looking toward the sky. So in your own time, lead yourself through these gentle movements, really pressing the spine, really trying to get curve either way in that spine, stretching out. Coming back into tabletop, tucking the toes, lifting the knees just a couple of inches from the mat and taking a moment to just breathe here, tuning into that core, waking the muscles up. From here, let's drop the left leg down, stretch the right leg long, lifting that right arm high, looking towards the fingertips into our supported side plank. Taking a moment to breathe here. Then dropping that hand down, back into tabletop. Kicking the right leg out this time, stretching that left leg long, lifting the left hand high, looking towards the fingertips. Supported side plank on the other side. Taking a moment to breathe here, enjoying that stretch. And placing the hands down, placing the legs down, and let's come into a gentle extended child's pose. Keeping those arms long, maybe you need to walk the hands forward a little bit. And taking a moment to breathe here, you can always come into child's pose at any point in this practice, if that's feeling good for you today. But for now, let's come up, let's tuck the toes, and let's come into our first downward facing dog. Let's take our time to pad out our feet here, checking that our hands are flat to the mat, feet hip width apart, Really looking for length in that spine. Taking a moment to take a deep bend in the knee, letting the head hang loose, and breathe here. Really feeling into that downward dog. Important to drop the head here, just really helps lengthen that spine. And then slowly walk the feet towards the hands. And then, just as I clear something away from the mat, I'm going to take a deep bend in the knees, leading with the chest, and taking a nice forward fold, grabbing onto each elbow with each hand, and just taking a nice gentle ragdoll, swaying from side to side, releasing any tension that I might have in the shoulders, in the back of the neck. Really enjoying that stretch in the hamstrings and the back. And let's roll up slowly now, vertebra by vertebra, keeping the head hanging heavy until we get to mountain. And let's take a moment to, obviously here I'm adjusting my top and rolling the shoulders back, patting the feet out, stepping to the front of the mat, taking a breath here, feeling grounded on our mountain. Really tuning into the breath and raising the arms up on the inhale, looking towards the sky. Exhale, folding forward, leading with the chest, hanging the head heavy. Inhale, place the hands on the shin, lengthen the spine. Exhale, place the hands on the mat, step the feet back. Let's lower the knees and then lower the body down in one piece, engaging those legs, pressing the mat away gently into baby cobra. And then exhale, tucking the toes, lifting the hips and pressing back into downward facing dog. Taking a moment to pad the feet out here, checking our alignment, connecting back into the breath, gazing at the navel. Really focusing on that breath now. And then on the inhale, looking forward, stepping those feet forward, lengthening the spine, hands to shins. Exhale, fold. And then inhale the arms all the way up until we find ourselves back into standing, into mountain pose. Taking a breath here. I shall obviously take a moment to readjust this top again. Raising the arms back up, folding forward. Inhale, hands to shins. Exhale, place the hands to the mat, stepping back, lowering the knees down, lowering the body down in one piece, pressing the mat away, baby cobra. Exhale, tucking the toes, lifting the hips, downward facing dog. Let's try and find a bit of stillness now here. Hanging the head heavy, trying to really keep length in the spine with a slight bend in the knee. Connecting back to the breath. And on the next inhale, stepping to the top of the mat, lengthening the spine, hands to shins. Exhale, fold. Inhale, raise the arms all the way up, coming back into mountain. And we'll take just a breath here before coming into our sun salutation B. Raising the arms up, sitting back into our chair pose for one breath. Then we'll fold forward over the knees. Inhale to lift, lengthening that spine. Exhale, placing the hands to the mat, stepping back, lowering the knees down, lowering the body down, pressing the mat away, baby cobra. Exhale, lifting the hips, downward facing dog. Just for one breath before we take that right leg and stepping that right leg forward, kicking the left foot out, taking a bend in the knee and raising up into warrior one. Taking a breath here, placing the hands down to the mat, stepping back, lowering the knees, chest and chin, raising up, baby cobra. Exhale, pressing the mat away, lifting the hips, And this time taking the left leg, lifting high before bringing it forward, stepping the foot to the top of the mat, kicking the right foot out, raising the arms all the way up into Warrior One, sending the hands down back to the mat, lowering the knees, chest and chin, raising up Baby Cobra. Exhale back into our downward facing dog. Taking our moment here to connect back to the breath. 5 breaths here, hanging that head. Checking your alignment, check those feet are still hip width apart. Hands nice and flat, pressing the mat away. And then inhaling, stepping to the top of the mat, lengthening that spine, hands to shins. Exhale, fold. Inhale, raising back up into our chair for 1 breath, before coming all the way into mountain. Stepping those feet out, just taking a moment to ground. And then we'll raise the arms up into chair, 1 breath. Folding forward, deep bend in the knees. Inhale, hands to shins. Exhale, stepping back into plank, lowering all the way down. Inhale, Baby Cobra. Exhale, lifting the hips, tucking the toes, downward facing dog. Lifting that right leg up before stepping the right leg forward, kicking the left foot out, raising the arms all the way up into our Warrior One. 1 breath here before placing the hands back to the mat, stepping back, lowering all the way down, lifting that chest, pressing back, lifting the hips, downward facing dog for 1 breath before lifting the left leg, stepping the left leg forward, kicking the right foot out, raising the arms all the way up into Warrior One. Taking the hands down to the mat, stepping back into plank, lowering all the way down. Engaging those legs, pressing up into Baby Cobra, lifting the hips, pressing back into downward facing dog for 1 last time. Taking this moment to connect back to the breath. If you've come unengaged with the breath throughout that sun salutation, this is a moment to reconnect. Finding stillness. Breathing here. And then bending the knees, stepping forward, lengthening the spine, hands to shins. Exhale, fold. Inhale, sitting back into our chair for 1 breath before raising all the way up into mountain. Good. Let's take a little moment to make any corrections. Rolling those shoulders, grounding those feet. And from here, when we're ready, we're going to take that right foot and step it to face the back of the mat. And we'll kick our left foot out to about 10 o'clock, raising the arms all the way up. Let's kick the hip back, lengthening forward and taking that right arm down to the inside of the right shin, lifting the left arm up and high. Playing around with the depth of the hands here, you might find you get more rotation in the chest if you bring that hand a little higher so it's not so close to the mat. And then taking the gaze down to the mat, leaving the arms where they are, pivoting the feet. So your left foot is now your lead, facing the top of the mat. Kicking the hip back, stretching forward, bringing that left arm down to the inside of the left shin, raising the right arm all the way up, looking towards the fingertips, playing around with the depth of your triangle pose here, your Trikonasana. Breathing here. And then exhale, take the gaze to the mat, raising all the way up, taking the hands to the hips, pivoting the feet again and taking the legs on train tracks this time. And then take a bend in that right knee. Take each elbow with each hand and then puffing that chest out and leading with the chest, we're going to fold forward from the hip over that right leg. And then we're going to hang that head again. And then really take a moment to play around with pulling in that navel, Might find you have a little bit more space in that forward fold. But connect into the breath, see how it feels on this side. And then when you're ready, lifting the gaze and pivoting the feet to the other side, so your left foot now becomes your lead. Make sure you've got a wide enough stance here into train tracks. I'm just taking a moment to adjust to make sure I know where I am. I'm probably thinking, which leg did I do last? Left foot, taking a bend in that left knee, grabbing the elbows with each hand and leading with the chest, folding forward over that left leg now, hanging the head heavy, noticing whether there's a difference here on this side. Keeping engagement throughout the whole body, being careful not to dump the weight too much on that left leg. Connecting back in with the breath, and then raising all the way up to standing. And then pivoting the feet so your right leg is facing the back edge of the mat. And we're taking a wider leg stance, but the feet are in line. This time we're coming into a warrior two. And as you exhale, take a bend in that right knee. The left leg is stretched out. You'll see that the edge of the left foot is in line with the short edge of the mat. Keeping the pelvis rotated forward. Have engagement in each of the muscles in your legs, really strong in your warrior here. Taking a bend in that right arm and sending the right elbow down to the right knee, and then extending the left arm up and over into our extended side angle. Option to release the hand. This is a good challenge to see if you're not dumping too much weight into that right leg. And then sweeping the arm up and round to help pivot the feet so we can come into warrior two on the other side. Just taking a moment to realign the feet. Inhaling the arms up and exhale, taking a bend in that left knee, pulling the pelvis forward. Pull that belly button in, make sure that left knee isn't falling inwards. Gazing over the left fingertips. And then taking a bend in that left arm, taking the left elbow down to the left knee, extending the right arm up and over, looking towards the fingertips. Option to release the arm here, or simply staying where we are with the elbow on the knee. Enjoying this nice stretch in the side body. Coming back to center, we're going to take a wide leg stance. Take a moment to pigeon toe the toes inward a little bit, giving a little bit more space in the hips. And with the hands on the hips, rolling the shoulders back, leading with the chest, we'll fold forward until we reach our extent. And then if your hands reach the mat, take a bend in the knee, which might give you a little bit more space to reach the mat. Walk those hands in line with the feet, and then release here. Release the head. Release the shoulders and feel that nice juicy stretch in the backs of the hamstrings. If this isn't comfortable for you, you can always take your hands to the hips. But see how you feel. Often when we spend a little time in a pose, we tend to release a little bit more. And then we're going to walk the hands over to the left foot, getting a deeper stretch on the one side. Again, keeping that head hanging heavy each time, and back to center and over to the other side. Breathing here, back to center, and then aligning one hand in front of you, going to twist and send the other hand up, looking towards the fingertips. Breathing here into this nice twist, and then exhale, releasing the gaze down and swapping the hands over to come into twist on the other side, looking up at the fingertips if you're able to. It's okay if you're up on your fingertips here, it doesn't matter if your palm's not flat to the floor. And then placing the hands on the hips, leading with the chest, coming all the way back up into standing, rolling those shoulders back. And then we'll bring the feet together. And we're going to come into a balance now. So start shifting the weight onto the left foot, lift the right leg up and begin to place the right leg on the inside of the left leg. I've shown you a few options here. I've gone for slightly lower down the leg today, and then taking the gaze to a fixed non-moving point, raise the arms up and try and find a little bit of stillness in our balance today. Then releasing the leg down, taking a moment to shake out those legs and begin shifting the weight onto your right leg now and placing the left leg on the inside of the right leg, fixing the gaze, raising the arms all the way up, finding balance again here. Taking a moment to breathe, taking a moment to ground through the foot. Balances and wobbles are welcome. Releasing the leg, having a little shake out, and let's step to the top of the mat. And we'll inhale the arms up, exhale, fold forward. Inhale, raising the chest, hands to shins, stepping the feet back and coming into a downward facing dog. And from here, stepping forward and coming into a seated position. Taking a moment to adjust anything we need here. Placing the feet flat to the mat, and we're going to raise the feet up, coming into boat pose. Lifting the hands away, testing our balance here, leading with the chest, option to straighten the legs. Option to keep the hands on the backs of the knees, however you feel today. And taking a moment to breathe here. And then placing the feet back to the mat, stepping the feet forward, taking a deep bend in the knee, and taking a gentle forward fold, dropping the head to the knees. Giving yourself a little hug, and breathe here for a moment. Releasing the hands, stretching the legs out in front of you. We're going to take the right foot and tuck the right foot on the inside of the left leg. Engaging that left leg, keeping it nice and engaged by pulling the big toe towards you, inhaling the arms up, taking a slight twist to the left and folding forward over the left leg. I've taken a deep bend in that knee here so I can get a little bit more sensation, a little bit more pull in that hamstring. Gives me the space to fold over the leg a little more. The extension that we want is in the lower spine. And then hanging that head nice and heavy here. Raising all the way back up. Releasing that right leg and taking the left leg on the inside of the right leg. Inhaling the arms up. Exhale, folding forward. Taking a bend in the right knee. Pulling that right big toe towards you to engage the muscles there. Nice and active. Folding forward and breathing into the pose on the other side. Noticing how it feels different on this side if it does. And then raising all the way up, lengthening that leg. Let's give those legs a shake. And then scooting forward a little on the mat. We'll exhale all the way down, lowering the body down so we're flat to the mat. And then we'll bring the feet towards us so our heels are touching our fingertips. And then peel the body up, coming into our bridge pose. Option to interlace the fingers, pulling the arms long. Giving a little bit more space in the back, opening the chest, making sure the knees aren't falling out to the side or inwards, and then slowly lower the body all the way down to the mat. And then let's take the right leg, place the right ankle over the left knee, And you can stay here, or you can interlace the fingers behind the back of the left knee. Engage that left foot and getting a nice hip opener, nice hamstring opener here. Good one for the runners, this. Taking a moment to breathe. And then release the hands, release the foot down. Helping that right leg off, and then we'll come to the other side where we're crossing the left ankle over to the right knee. Option to stay there, or to place the hands behind the back of the right knee, pulling that leg towards you as the body is flat to the mat. We want to find release here. We don't want to be tucking the head up and tight. We do want to find some sort of release here. So if it's more comfortable, do take that foot to the mat in a more passive stretch. Taking a moment here, and let's take the elbows above the head, and we're just going to windscreen wiper the legs from side to side, as you can see I'm doing here. Just releasing any tension in that lower back and the shoulders. Nice, slow, easy movements. Releasing the hands down and grabbing the knees and just taking a moment to rock side to side. Nice and gentle, and a gentle back massage here. And then rocking and rolling forward to come into a seated position. Sitting back. And then we're going to tuck that right foot in, taking the right hand behind us, hooking that left elbow on the outside of the knee and coming into a twist. If this twist is too intense here, you can always just hug the knee and then coming into a slight counter twist, a little mini press up to the left hand side there. Coming back to center, stretching the right leg long, placing the left foot to the mat. And taking the left arm behind us, raising the right arm up, hooking the right arm over the left knee, looking over that left shoulder. Again, an option to hug the knee here without hooking that elbow if you're finding that stretch a little too intense today. And releasing the hands, stretching those legs out. And coming into a seated position where we get the pads of our feet together into a tight diamond shape. And you'll see that I'm just grabbing the toes here, just rocking into this pose. And then when you're ready, just dropping the head forward. If you have a deeper forward fold here, feel free to release a little further. Otherwise, just dropping the head is perfectly good enough today. And then taking the feet into more of a diamond shape now, sending the feet a little further forward. We're going to tuck the hands under the legs as I am here, keeping the hands flat to the floor and just pulling the body down and then releasing that head once more. Taking a few gentle breaths here, really cooling the body down now. And then raising all the way back up, coming into a seated position. Just taking a moment here to check back in, a few breaths to ground, in through the nose, out through the mouth. In through the nose and out through the mouth. Bringing the hands to heart center. Namaste. Thank you for joining, everyone. I'll see you again soon.